I don't think there's much to fear. But again, if you think along those lines, you fall into a trap, don't you?
Well, I don't think anyone gets to a Champions League final that isn't capable of giving you some trouble.
Yeah.
Someone you shouldn't be aware of. And there are many opportunities in life where teams that have gone to finals have surprised people. So I think the issue in this one is that Manchester City, if they're able to get past Real Madrid, which is still a massive if, because again, we're not bothered about whether Real Madrid do it or not. We're more focused on Manchester City.
Yeah.
That they will have to be mindful in the same way that they should have overcome Lyon a few years ago. Now, they will have learnt lessons, and Pep Guardiola didn't really need lessons to learn to overcome Lyon, but they didn't. In this instance, if they get to the final and play Inter or AC, but specifically Inter because I think they'll go through, there's not anything to be worried about specifically. There's lots to be aware of.
Yes, yeah, precisely. So 2-0 Inter lead that one. Of course, it's 1-1 with Manchester City and Real Madrid. Cannot wait for the second leg of that. Would love to see Manchester City in the final. Would love to see Manchester City win it. Of course we would. And then I'll hold up another newspaper. Yes, it's Thursday morning. Yes, it's the Daily Mail. And this is when Simon Jordan nails it in his column. In your role now of a media tart, what you've told us this morning is the
Did you dump that, Luke? Was that dumped? No?
Did that go out? It was meant. The self-righteous Premier League is all about activism, causes, agendas. Oh, and the side order of football. Please, just stop. Now, when you read into this, as I have done, and I love that picture of you, it's a personal favourite of mine.
Oh, really? Okay. Something for the ladies.
Something for the ladies. We are seemingly in a just stop world. Well, here's a Just Stop campaign I'd be right behind. Just stop using sport to advance every bloody cause going. Now, the article also suggests standing the games down over the coronation and then resuming on a Sunday. Is that not hypocrisy and moving for a cause in itself? That would be the question I'd ask you. I mean, you say in it there was the issue surrounding the national anthem for the coronation last weekend when football didn't need to involve itself.
Yep.
What does playing a national anthem at football stadiums actually achieve? And then you're talking about standing the games down and playing them on a Sunday.
No, I didn't. What I suggested was if there's a necessity to make a statement in some shape or form, then make a statement by not making one. Just if that's what we feel we need to do via platforms like football, which I certainly don't think that we do. My main thought is stop using football and sport for causes, because what it tends to do is pit people against one another and create division. Now you've got division in this situation where a national anthem is being played in front of a team that has supporters that have no regard for it, right or wrong. I happen to think wrong, but that's just my view. And it creates division because you've got one side of the country going, these revolting Liverpool fans, so they have no dignity. On the other side of the country, Liverpool fans saying, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what we live through. Well, so why do it? So if you could have actually, given this is a once-in-a-generational circumstance, if you so felt the necessity to tip your hat to something, which I don't think they should have done.
You don't think they should have done?
No, I just gave it as an alternative. If you're going to create a problem, if you're going to criticise something, give an alternative. It's easy to point your finger at things and say that's what's wrong, that's what's wrong, that's what's wrong.
You don't think football should have tipped its hat to the coronation and played the national anthem before Premier League games?
Again, you
don't think so?
That's
because it's just struck me. This was you on that just a few days ago.
It's a celebration of a coronation of something unique about this country, and some people that are Republicans don't agree with it. The best thing to do is do what you think is right. And if you think it's right to play the national anthem, which I probably think on this occasion, the balance of probability suggests it is, I think that there is more value in our monarchy in this country than there is less. And I would prefer that we celebrate it. And I think as our national sport, I think it's quite a nice touch that the football clubs are acknowledging that.
Hello.
Yes, because the clubs had it put upon their toes by the Premier League. My article is not about the clubs. My article is about the Premier League getting involved in causes and circumstances and agendas it doesn't need to. Now, given the Premier League had made it public that it already told the clubs what they would like them to do, that put the clubs in a slightly invidious position. I would prefer football just butt out and leave itself to be... What was football created? What was sport created for? It was created for the ultimate escapism. We can see all the trials, travails and agendas around the world. All we've got to do is open the bleeding window and look out, or watch every single news outlet doing it from dawn till dusk. Football should just be in its finest form about people being able to forget things, go there and then be reminded of their electricity bill and inflation, unable to pay their mortgages, or the climate crisis, or the racial division in this country. Can all be found on any other dial, in any other time, dawn till dusk.
So we can't move games away from Wembley for cup finals for northern teams.
We can.
But we can just shift everything, dates-wise, for the coronation to avoid playing the anthem.
No, we can do neither or either. bottom lining is
you don't think football should mark like knife crime or it with and the Arsenal all white kits? I remember that.
No,
homelessness.
I don't suggest that these causes don't have merit. What I suggest is that football and sport was designed to be about escapism. We're not missing these messages. They aren't things that are secret. We're not, oh, I didn't know that. We're hearing it every day, dawn till dusk, on every single media outlet. There is a place and space for someone to just go to sport and be what it was there for. Now, of course, all those that want to highlight causes, and I'm not suggesting that, these causes aren't valuable causes. I'm not suggesting that all these causes aren't, like George Orwell philosophy, some animals are more equal than others. But the bottom line is that I want sport to be just about sport, and I think most people in this country want to be that way.
But it still is about sport.
No, it's being
It still is about sport.
It's about, we turn on the broadcasters, we get indoctrinated with messages about misogyny and homophobia and racism, dawn till dusk. We go somewhere else, we get to hear about other societal ills. We get to go and swap our shirts over for homeless people. We get to talk about Del Vince, getting people to chain people to football.
But the homeless people thing, for the homelessness, that's a really good cause, and football's a good platform for it on which to be used.
That's fine, but it shouldn't be. It's football.
Shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be. Sport
should
be.
Let's not mention the homeless today.
Sport should be. We've got plenty of.
Just keep football to football.
No one's suggesting. Yes.
What football songs and 11 against 11, and that's it. Final whistle. It's all over.
Is about sport. 99% of the people that go inside football stadiums are going there to come out of their grey lives, as I say in this article, me included, plonk themselves into 90 minutes of escapism and forget the fact that there's an awful world out there that they're going to face the moment they walk out the stadium. They're going to face that. They're not going. It's not a secret. We've got every single news outlet. One of the wonders of this new digital age that we live in, that we can have 24-hour rolling news content that can create more content in the back of more content in the back of more content. We're not going to miss any of this stuff. And we should be able to go. We don't go to the theatre to save someone in the middle. Forsooth, hold on 1 second before I deliver the Shakespearean line. I just want to tell you about the homeless. We don't have that, do we?
But knife crime,
why should sport
for example,
have
every
this?
time I get out the tube station at Southwark, down the road there are a few guys and girls talking to you about knife crime, and if you want to donate something, that's great.
Yes.
So at a high-profile match, they're not allowed to talk about knife crime. Because if they did, at the end, sensible football fans would give it.
I'm not suggesting that.
And would recognise what they're doing.
I'm not saying.
And if there's commercial gain in it for a club, you'd be right on.
I'm not Oliver Cromwell. I'm not dictating the pace of what people think in this country. What I am suggesting is that there are better opportunities for things to be utilised in such a way for simply escaping the travails of the society that we live in. What you would want necessarily in this argument, and what people that have agendas want, is to utilise and leverage sport for their agenda. And what it creates, if you read the article, which I know you have, is it creates division. It creates arguments. It creates debate. We have people coming on here saying that footballers should stand for LGBTQ rights in Qatar, and off they go. And the moment they don't feel they've got to have any skin in the game, down they sit because they get a yellow card for not wearing the armband. So sport becomes more important again. Which one is it? Then we're going about taking the knee. Off we go to America. Look at the American society. Hang on a second, that's the same as it over here. No, it's not. And then you create division by people saying, "Well, I didn't want to take the knee." "Oh, well, you didn't take the knee." "Oh, well, then you're a filthy racist." And off you go in that conversation.
But it's all about awareness, so isn't it?
Yes, but football should be
debate and awareness.
No, we've got shows like this to do this. We've got shows like Talk TV, GB News, BBC One, if you can find anything worth listening to on there, Sky Sports. All of these things can talk about these things if they want to, but when we go to a football stadium for a live event, why can it not just be for that 90 minutes that people can have a break from everything that's going on outside?
So does it offend you that once a year Arsenal players wore the all-white kit to bring awareness to knife crime, and that's exactly what it did? Once a year.
I'm not offended.
Once a year. And then there's a conversation about it.
The bottom line is I look at these things and say, look, it's my view, people don't have to agree with it, my view is that sport should be about sport. I know why others want it to be about other things, because it's a wonderful platform and it's a great opportunity to foist out agendas. So that's what I'm saying, and I think a lot of the public might have some empathy with it, and those that have agendas and want causes served out will say I'm a Philistine.
So your column really is to bring awareness to this very fact.
It's to help people like you move off your sort of lefty, lovey little soapbox where we live in a sensational, idealistic world of utopian this and utopian that.
It's a better picture in the middle.
He's going to take it down to its lowest level now, make it about the picture.
Sun. And you have moved on because the headlines are better.
Not God blimey, Gov. You've done all this.
Oops, car blimey, exclam, to the self-righteous Premier League. It's all about activism and causes agendas. Oh, and a side order of football. Please stop. Do you get to write the headline as well?
Show me the headline.
What do you mean? You know it.
Well, it's not a headline. It's just a lift from the column.
Oh, it's just a lift from the... Oh, I see. It's a quote from the column.
Yes.
All right. Terrific stuff.
Technical term for us.
It's on page 70. It's on page 75. It's well into the newspaper. It's well hidden.
Next to the astrology.
way into the newspaper. Actually, the horoscope is a much better read. No, I'm joking. It is 10:20.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.